Hi, I'm Shukri Devi and I'm a monk and a musician. I wanted to share with you today about my experience with performing and stillness. One of the things that I've noticed so much about creative people is that we have so much passion and energy and drive, and it's really exciting. There's a lot of enthusiasm and love for what we do. And that's all upward spiraling good energy to have. And it's just amazing how when the mind gets involved, it can turn all of that amazing energy into this tiny version of, in my case, fear and anxiety. And it's really amazing how the mind can change such a positive thing to being something which is so destructive potentially. And it can be super frustrating because we're so attached to doing a good job and doing the best we possibly can. It's an interesting thing. Since I've started this meditation practice called Ascension, what's happened for me is that I've had much more awareness of what my mind is doing. And I've also been able to cultivate a much more stable experience of being in the flow, which is such a gift, obviously. And really what that means is that the part of my experience which was making it tricky, to the point in my case, to the point where when I put my bow in the string, my body was so tense and I was so full of anxiety that my bow would shake and I couldn't really play properly. I was really pretending a lot of the time. And it's just been fantastic to find a practice which has been able to shift my experience from mind-based to actually being present. I'm sure you've all had this experience yourselves, that sometimes when we play it just works. It's just easy. There's no effort required and it's joyful. It's like the childlike joy that we once had is there. So what's interesting is that the reason, given that we start with all this passion and excitement about what we're doing, the reason we don't experience that sometimes when we're performing is one thing, and that's because we have a thought. That is the block. So it's actually, although it's incredibly powerful at the time, it's actually a very small thing, which is good news. And this practice is just so wonderful at allowing us to be free from that. So the other fascinating thing about this is that once you have a very clear relationship with what's actually happening, you can then discover that same sense of being present, being in the flow in all areas of your life. It doesn't have to be just in certain moments, which is wonderful. It's so liberating. And this is something that is available for everybody. And it's your right to experience that. It is actually who you are when we're resting in this space without all the chatter. You get to be the best version of you, and you deserve that. There are many ways of finding that space and finding that experience. And I would encourage you with my whole heart to go and find what works for you and live that.